Good day and a warm welcome to today's webinar, Analysis in ArcGIS Online. My name is Rajiv Bhatia. I am Marketing Manager for the Education and Trainings vertical at Esri India. I'm talking to you today from our headquarters in Noida. The recording of the webinar will be shared with all registrants. To ensure that this is an interactive session, I would encourage you to ask as many questions in the Q&A dialog box. We will try to answer as many questions at the end of the webinar. But any questions we don't get to will be answered in a follow-up email. I'm joined by Vibhu Sinha, Suresh Kar, and Syed Zubair. We also have Manish Srivastav, head of the irrigation vertical at Esri India, as a panelist. We will quick start the webinar with a poll and would like to then welcome Vibhu Sinha to take you through the presentation. So we have a lot of answers coming in. So we'll now close the poll and like I mentioned, I would like to welcome Vibhu Sinha to take you through the presentation.
Thank you, Rajiv, and a very good morning to all of you, all the attendees who have joined us. They would be taken through analysis in ArcGIS Online in the next an hour or so. And before that, I would take a few minutes to talk about what ArcGIS stands for and what is ArcGIS Online. So before we move into this, may I request all of you to quickly pull out your mobile phones, or those of you who do not have a mobile phone, they can quickly head to the chat window and access this quick survey form. So while you just went through a poll on WebEx, this is a capability of ArcGIS Online which allows you to quickly configure a survey form and make it available for everyone to access and provide their inputs. So this is a quick survey form which helps us understand our attendee profile from where you are joining. So in the WebEx poll, we were able to see your years of experience. We were able to see other credentials about you, but this is about location. So when we talk about location, we need to update a survey which will help us capture your location, capture the distribution of our attendees across India. So I'll keep this window on for a couple of seconds more. And once you are able to open the survey form, you would be able to quickly update your details, fill in the information, and submit it. So while you're doing it, let me talk about ArcGIS. So what is ArcGIS? ArcGIS is a comprehensive geospatial platform. If we look at the GIS part of it, ArcGIS has been the forerunner, the front runner in GIS space, and we have been doing location analytics for quite some years now. The way it progressed was GIS was pervasive. It evolved into mapping and location services. Various developer tools were enabled. So this complete system, when we talk about it, we look at it in a more comprehensive way. And ArcGIS as a pervasive system is what powering the geo-enabled systems across the industry, across various domains, across various verticals. When you talk about sharing information using ArcGIS, this is the simplest way. You are working on a desktop, you have a file system, you have shape files. You simply share those shape files, share your databases using traditional file sharing mechanisms. But then that is not very secure, that is not very efficient. So that is when client server architecture comes in. You have your data hosted somewhere as services, and various devices are able to access that, probably within a subnet or probably within a local area network. But when you have projects, when you have responsibilities which span across geographies, then you need something which is web enabled or web based. So that is where you ensure that your uh, services, your content, your applications are hosted somewhere on internet, which is accessible to everyone with access to internet. The clients remain more or less same. You would be having your desktops, you will be having your browser windows, you'll be having your mobile devices, and they would be accessing your content and applications. And then moving ahead, we talk about collaboration of multiple such systems, so interconnected systems. So I have a, let's say I have a portal or I have a enterprise deployment, a web-based deployment at my office at Esri India, and then there could be someone from the survey department who would want to collaborate with us. So as part of IndoArcGIS, we are collaborating for various data services for various data layers with multiple uh, agencies, be it government, be it corporate agencies. So we are collaborating, we are interconnected with multiple departments, multiple agencies now. So this is where we are working these days. So ArcGIS has been a comprehensive geospatial platform. It is a services-based platform and fairly open. We are committed to open and interoperable uh, GIS solutions, and we do comply. In fact, we have been a founding member of various open forums like Open Geospatial Consortium, right? So one of one of the effort or one of the uh, activities which we took up to ensure that our services and data is accessible all through, we ensure that our capabilities are fully compliant with open standards, be it SaaS, be it our enterprise softwares, or be it our desktops. Or desktops can access data from open source platform, open source applications, and other OGC compliant services. So what is ArcGIS Online? ArcGIS Online, when we talk about it, it is an implementation of portal. So what is portal? Portal is a gateway, right? A literal meaning for a portal would be gateway. Gateway to information, gateway to applications, gateway to services. And while there is an on-prem implementation of this, which we call as ArcGIS Enterprise, ArcGIS Online makes it much easier to access those capabilities via a Esri hosted cloud, where all the online content and services are published on a cloud and are accessible via a portal to all the users who are subscribed to ArcGIS Online. So once you're subscribed, you get a web-based GIS and a SaaS solution hosted in the Esri cloud. You would be, those who are subscribed to ArcGIS Online, you would be having a dedicated ArcGIS organizational identity for your particular organization. And uh, that is where all your content, all your users would be registered and stored. So this is how typical uh, ArcGIS Online interface, your organizational homepage would look like. So this would be your company homepage. You would be having a gallery. You would be having content listed out here, and all the organization details would be somewhere on the menu bar. We'll look into it in details in my colleague Sorish's session. So it would be a website powered by ArcGIS Online. It will be having ability to customize your organization. You would be able to manage your members, assign licenses and apps. So licenses such as user type in terms of the capabilities, what your users can do. And you would be having capability to view various reports. So this is how the organization page looks like. So your ArcGIS Online would be a collection of or organized collection of various items. These items could be various data layers, could be various applications. So you could, those items could be maps and scenes, various layers, various applications. And when we talk about that, let us quickly look into what those layers could be. So these are the layers, or these are the services which are available on ArcGIS Online. Uh, a lot of these layers and these services can be accessed via Living Atlas of the Earth interface. So if you have a point cloud data, if you have a feature layer, scene layer, OGC service, right? So all these data sets or all these services can be accessed via ArcGIS Online, and these can be published. Similarly, if you have some local data, like if you have shapefile or geodatabase or geopackages on your desktops, you could publish that to ArcGIS Online. Similarly, geopackages, ENC files, image files, etc., these can be published onto ArcGIS Online. So these are the services and local GIS data capabilities of ArcGIS Online. So once you push all this data, once you publish all this data onto ArcGIS Online, uh, you know, provides a service URL or services interface for these data sets, and from there you could access multiple applications which are capable of connecting to the portal and access these services or these data services via ArcGIS Online. So you don't need to really deploy anything. You just need to get subscribed to ArcGIS Online and start working with your local data or data which is available on ArcGIS Online via Living Atlas of the Earth. So you have data, you have applications. What do you do with these data sets and applications? You go ahead and start analyzing. So how do we analyze? That is something which my colleague Sarish will take you through in details. So Sarish, over to you. Let's see what all analysis we can do.
So let's start. Let's dig in and see what is ArcGIS Online and how ArcGIS Online service and web maps work. So as Vibhu sir has already explained to you about how the ArcGIS architecture looks like, so let's dig in now with, let's start with services. So what is a service? A service is basically a published content in ArcGIS Online. Now there are different types of services that are available in ArcGIS Online. It can be map service, it can be a feature service. So when you put on the services on a map frame, then it becomes a web map. So it's basically a map which lies in the web, which you can maybe share with anyone, your organization members, members from different other organizations, or public in general. So a web map is basically a compilation of the base map and the layers of the services lying on top of it. So then we have traditional versus web maps. So traditional maps are mostly, we all know, they are printed maps which we use in our reports, and they generally have a limited audience. But with web maps, the capabilities becomes endless because you can create web applications. It's basically a multimedia interface where you can have, a very wide, large audience, and it also has a smart interactive component which we also called as smart mapping. So let's see the design process that we have for a map. So generally what we do is we identify a problem, then we try to gather the initial ideas uh, about it, and then we sit together and refine those ideas and then gather the data that we need to put into that web map. And then we publish the data to our ArcGIS Online or say ArcGIS Enterprise. And then we can build maps and other products like applications from it. And the use of maps are endless, as you all already know. So before going on to analysis in ArcGIS Online, let's have a quick demo on how the ArcGIS architecture looks like, or like how the ArcGIS Online site looks like. So I hope my screen is still visible, and right now I am in arcgis.com. So as soon as you go to any web browser and go to ArcGIS Online, which is arcgis.com, so you can just sign in. You have to create an account first. And right now I'll just quickly sign in using my own account. And as we have mentioned, you will also get a free 21-day license as well. So which will be shared to you via email. So you can try out, on your own after the webinar when you get the link. So this is the home tab of my ArcGIS Online. Excuse me. Then we have the gallery tab. So what happens in the gallery tab is all the data sets of the organizations that you want to showcase. This comes in the gallery tab. Then the map tab, where mostly all the data that will be, you'll be mapping will be coming in the map tab. Then we also have the scene tab, which is basically for your 3D data. So map is for your 2D data, and the scene is for your 3D data. So you can build scenes as well, as we already know in ArcGIS Online. Then we have Notebook. So Notebook is basically if you want, if you are a developer, a coder, and you want to try your hands on, or even if you're a student or just beginning to start coding, you can use notebooks and build some really powerful things. Then we have groups. So groups is basically, when you want to share content specifically with some set of people, say some members of the organization or some members from a different organization. So when I say organization, it means ArcGIS Online organization. Then you build groups, you create groups, and you can share your items to these groups via which those items or those data sets will be available to be viewed by the other members of the group. Then we have content. So where basically all the things happen, where you publish your data, you create applications, and then the organization tab, which is mostly for the administrators of the organization. So as you can see, so here you can check the members, who are the members, what are the status of the credits and other things. And then you can also go to settings and control all the functionalities as an admin of the organization. So we'll not dig, excuse me. So we'll not dig more into what administrators can do, as today we'll be more focusing on the analysis and the data part. So here you have all, sub tabs over here, which is my content, and then you have my favorites. So the contents you choose to be your favorites come under my favorites. Then my group. So the data that will be coming from the groups that you are added, they will be coming under the my group sub tab. Then my organization, which is basically all the data of your organization will be viewed. It's important to note here only the data sets which are shared with the organization will be able to view over here. So if some data set is not shared with the organization and just shared with the owner or say just the administrator, then it won't be viewed well. Then comes the Living Atlas part. So we'll see what Living Atlas capabilities are in details in some time. So let's first start with content. So what I'll do today is first, I'll just upload a new file from my device. Say I'm here and I've already created a data set of hospitals of like of few locations of Delhi NCR. So let's quickly add it. So here I'm choosing file type as shapefile, but I have different other options like file database, deep learning package, map template, KMLs, your codes. So the options are, unlimited. You can choose as per your requirement. And then I have two options. Either I can directly add the data or I can choose to host or publish the data to ArcGIS Online. So I'll go with that for now, and I'll just name it. I can assign categories. I can add some tags. Say, because I'll be doing analysis over it, I'll just add a tag of analysis, and you can add a summary as well. Okay, so while the data is getting published, now you can see that this is a hosted feature layer and the item has been created today. We can see the view count. If we have added the summary that would have been available over here, I can already have preview of the points that I have added. I can add a description, a terms of use for my audience. And then I have few other options here, which is if I want to publish as a tile layer, as a WFS, vector tile layer, and many others. I can also create a view layer if I want to create. And then I also have options to open it in desktop applications, to export the data in different formats like shapefile, KML, Excel, file database, GeoJSON, and so on. Then I have also options to update the data. So if, say, I have received this data from my colleague, and now I have received a new data set, and I need to update those records to this data set. So then I'll be choosing update data options. And it will be giving me many options that add features, update features, add and update features, or override the entire layer. Then this is basically sharing that we have already discussed about. How you can share. You can share with your owner, share with the organization members, or public in general, and you can share to different groups as well. Then we have the metadata tab. All the things that you want to edit your metadata or choose your metadata, check metadata, you can do from here. Then if you want to know more about the data, the attribute information basically, then you can check from here. If you want to add new fields to the data, then you can do from here. Then visualization will give you a like a preview of your data set. Okay. And then usage will tell you, about the usage or the request per hour and everything. Then settings is a very important one because, I can enable delete protection so that my item is not deleted by any chance. And then if I want to approve it for, if I want to make the data editable and then share it with public so that anyone across the world can edit the data, then I should be checking this option of public data collection. Then if I want to set an extent between the layers, extent for the layer, that I should be doing from here. Then, as I've mentioned about enable editing, then there are options about, if you want to keep a track of all the updates that have been made to the data, that means who have edited the data, at what time the data was edited, then these are these settings for. And then if you want to allow exports to different formats, that I'll be doing from here by checking this option. Also, there are options of spatial indexes, field indexes, rebuilding indexes, and to cache control so that it loads faster. So without wasting much time, I will be going on to analysis now. So what is analysis? You are already doing analysis most of the people, I think. So if you are using, and you mostly use, I think, desktop-based applications. Now, the similar kind of options are also available in ArcGIS Online or in ArcGIS Enterprise as well. So what we want to do in analysis is basically I have a problem and, say for example, right now I have the hospital's data. So I want to find out maybe how many people can reach the hospital within 5 minutes. So maybe a drive time of 5 minutes from the hospitals or to the hospital, so that we know exactly, if an accident happens, how fast the patient can reach to the hospital. So we want to create a buffer zone of, say, 5 minutes drive time. Let's do that actually, and then we'll figure out how everything works. So before we, go ahead and do that, let's see what other supported tool inputs are there. So firstly, we have services, we have files, and we have additional layers that you can include in your analysis or you can use for your analysis. So you can choose analysis from layers from your content from your organization, your subscription content, your living atlas. So we'll see and see in details during the demo. So what is required to use the analysis tools? So we have you need to have an ArcGIS Online subscription, and you need to have a user type, which is creator or GIS professional. You need to have a role, which is publisher or above. So we'll see about these user types and user roles in details as well in today's presentation. Then you need to have privileges of special analysis or any additional privileges as per the service-based analysis that you are going to do. And you also need to know about credits. So what are credits? It's basically, kind of monetary deposits that you can do for ArcGIS Online. For example, say you buy 1,000 blocks of credits, you pay some amount. It's like a credits bank we have for ArcGIS Online. You keep that credits and you utilize that credits for doing your analysis or for hosting your data and other stuff. So as we have mentioned, there are different user types and user roles. We'll focus on user types first. So user types are basically GIS Professional Advanced, GIS Professional Standard, GIS Professional Basic, Creator, Mobile Worker, Editor, and Viewer. So depending on the user type that your administrator gives you access to, depending on that, the functionalities that you can do are covered. For example, if you have a GIS Professional Advanced, that means uh, you are having all the capabilities plus the advantages of using ArcGIS Pro Advanced. Similarly, for Standard, you have the capabilities of the Basic plus ArcGIS Pro Standard. So for Basic, you have all the capabilities of a Creator plus ArcGIS Pro Basic. So likewise, I'll not go deeper because there are too many things in there. Now we'll focus on user roles as well. So what are user roles? So depending on the user types that you have, you might be having certain privileges. Privileges to create content, or privileges like to create applications, privileges like to perform some analysis. So let's start from the ranks. Administrator is having the highest privilege of the organization, where he has every rights to govern the organization, uh, to perform analysis, to build applications, to govern how the credit utilization will work, to basically everything. Then comes the facilitator, who's having a, a privilege to publish content plus to join different collaboration groups. Then we have publisher, who will be able to publish content. So as soon as you are publishing content, that definitely means you'll be able to edit the data or create applications or perform analysis on top of it as well. Now comes the data editor, which is basically the user and then data editor. So as a user, you will be able to edit data, plus you will be able to create groups and other content. But you won't be able to publish the data or host the data in ArcGIS Online. As a data editor, you will be just able to edit features which are hosted by other members of the organization. And as a viewer, you will be just able to view all these items, be it the maps, the applications, the demographic content, everything. So before we go to Living Atlas, we'll have a quick demo of how ArcGIS Online analysis works. And before we go to the demo, I'll request my other panelists to have uh, one polling questions for everyone so that we know, how you are utilizing ArcGIS Online. Okay, as you answer the polling question, so I'll then open my map viewer. So one important thing to mention here, we have two map viewers. One is a map viewer classic and one is the new map viewer or the map viewer. So map viewer classic was built on JavaScript API 3.x, but map viewer, the current map viewer is built on JavaScript API 4.x, giving it more higher capabilities. So as you can see, I have added my hospital's data to the map viewer. I can change my base map as per my understanding and requirement. Excuse me. So I can choose any base map from here. But right now, let's do something. I just saw that there's a new base map which is creating quite a, which is gaining popularity right now. So let's see if we can add that now. So we have a khaki base map right now. So let's add it. So as you can see, my hospital layer is not visible because it's falling under the khaki base map. So what I'll do just to bring it to visualization is I'll drag and drop on top of it. So as soon as you click on this, it gives you all these options which are basically not visible or not clickable first. They become clickable now, and you can choose the properties you want. You can style it as per your requirement. So you can do a heat map. You can, also symbolize it in terms of your field if you want. I can change the symbol from here. I have basic shapes. I have POIs of government, which I can use. I can use POIs of interest, public safety, and so on. So right now I'll choose something maybe which depicts health. Say, for example, this one. So I'll just adjust the size. Maybe 20 will be good. Okay, this looks good to me. And let's see, it's done. Then I can also filter out the contents. Maybe I want to see something which is, uh, say, health facility is a specific one. Okay, say Lakhan. So I can filter out and show that itself. So you can build expressions as per your requirement. There are enough options that are available, maybe by districts, by talukas, by state names, by the by any other category actually, which you have in your data set. So right now I'll remove all the filtering and I'll just quickly go on to effects to see how the effects work. So you can adjust the bloom level, you can play around with it. So maybe this is looking fine for now, or I'll just, you can apply drop shadows so that your points becomes visible. I can choose what kind of drop shadow color I want, maybe white or black. I'll just go with white for now. And then if you want, there's a blur on the data and maybe you're overlaying with another data, you can do that. Then you can also adjust the brightness, contrast, the grayscale, hue, saturate, invert, sepia. The options are unlimited. Then you can also, perform some kind of binning or clustering, and it all happens just in a matter of a click. Then you can also, customize the pop-ups for these. So right now, this is how the pop-ups look, but you want to, say have the district D as capital and not have this underscore M. So you can customize it as per your want from these field section. Then you can check about your fields from here. Then you can label your data from here. You can configure charts. You can build forms. And then we'll go to straight to analysis. So as we discussed then that we'll be doing an analysis to see uh, the drive time to these hospitals, right? So I'll just search drive time. So generate travel areas is the tool I'll be going with for now. Then as an input layer, I'll have my hospitals layer and then driving time, just to give you an overview. As you can see, I have rural driving time, I have walking time, I have truck time. So there are many options. Then come the cutoffs. Cutoff means basically a value that you need to give. Say you want to have a cutoff unit of, say, hours or minutes or kilometers. What kind of driving time you want? Say right now I just want 5 minutes. Okay. And then as I mentioned, to the hospital or from the hospital. So away from input location, which is basically my hospitals over here. Then you can have departure time set as per your requirement. Then you can choose the analysis result, how it will be. Will it be overlap, or will they be dissolved, or will there be a split in between of the drive time results? So I'll just say overlap, and I need to give an output name, say 5 minutes from hospital. So you can include reachable streets, you can save the folders, and then we have the environment settings where we can control many things like uh, if you've done analysis in ArcGIS Pro or ArcMap, you have seen that we can project the data and all. But here we have an option to directly choose the coordinate system as well. So you can choose the coordinate system. I'll just keep it as default. And then we have processing extent or full extent. If you want to just specify the coordinates, if you want to do display extent, which means this display frame only to this display frame or the entire layer. I'll just keep it to full extent for now. And then I'll estimate credits. So credit estimation is really important before you do any analysis because you need to know about how much credits will be required. So as you can see, 72 credits will be required. So I'll just cut it short and maybe do a display extent to only these ones. So only 3 credits will be utilized. So I'll just quickly run. So this has started running. And I'll be able to see the history of it, similar to your ArcGIS Pro. So while this is running, let's look at the other tools that we have. So as you can see, we have different raster functions also available here for analysis, for appearance, for classification, for correction, for data management, for hydrology, for maths. So endless options are available over here, as you can see. Zonal statistics, cell statistics, and many. So let's see if this is still running. So, okay, so this got completed and I can see the results. So this is my drive time areas for the hospitals. Okay, now let's go back and let's see how ArcGIS Atlas, Living Atlas of the world looks like and how everything, you can use. So we have ArcGIS Living Atlas of the world, which provides ready-to-use content, be it, say, admin boundaries, or be it your talukas, or be it the demographic information. So we call it, for the India edition, we call it into ArcGIS, where you have all the solutions layers available along with it as well. So let's have a quick overview of the Living Atlas layers. So I'll just quickly go to ArcGIS, Living Atlas. And I've already signed in over here. I go to browse, and from the regions, I'll choose India. So all the India specific data sets will be available here. So you can also use them for analysis as well. So that can also be done. And right now, let's go ahead and see other modes of creation of uh, data. Say, for example, if I want to use, I want to do a form-based data collection using Survey 123. So let's see how that is done. So we have already submitted a survey form right now, right? So let's go to our app launcher, which is this one. You can all see the 9 dots. So I quickly go here and go to survey 123 so that we can build a form. Okay, I go to new survey and I will go to and create a blank survey. So Survey 123 is basically a form-based application with location, which helps you to collect data and on digital. Basically, digital data is gaining popularity right now. So it helps you to collect digital data with the location component. And we have too many options of questions that are there. And all the data that you'll be collecting, those will be synced real time to your ArcGIS environment, as it's a ArcGIS field application only. So let's create some content, or let's create a form quickly. Say the first one, I'll just have it as name, and then I can just do a number, which maybe you want to collect demographic data, so it can be age. So what I'm doing is I'm just quickly dragging and dropping my question types over here. So maybe you want to know the date and time. And you can also make it a required question if you want to have it as visible or just read only. So options are endless. You can, check and go through them. And for your queries, we are always available. So then you can also choose from appearance, and I'll just quickly set a title that test survey maybe for now. And then you can also apply a background image. You can have a description for your survey. Right now, I'm not keeping any descriptions. You can also update how the submission, after submission, how it will look like. I'll not do that for now. And I'll just quickly save it and publish my data. You can also modify the schema of how your data will be. And on top of it, you could also use it for building, say, dashboards or story maps. And as I've mentioned before, all the data is synced on a real-time basis. So the options are endless. So what is Survey 123 does? It basically gives you smart forms so that you can optimize your workflows. And your field workers or your stakeholders, anyone can submit survey forms from anywhere. And it also gives you a real-time insight on the uh, output. So the form is still publishing. We'll quickly see what are the other options that we have in our applications. So we also have instant apps, which lets you create apps instantly on the go. Then we have insights, where you can gather insights about your data on different methods that you might be using. We have workflow manager for customizing your applications workflow. Then we also have dashboard, which will be creating a dashboard as well today with the surveys that you have submitted. So this has been published. So I will quickly go to my survey link from the share option. And as you can see, this is available. And so let's now quickly jump into dashboards. So what we'll do is, you all have submitted some records already. So what we now do is, we will create the dashboard using the records of the survey form that you all have filled. So I'm creating a dashboard now. Say I want to have, so this is how the dashboard interface looks like. I can add different elements to my dashboard. And so firstly, I'll start with adding maybe a serial chart. So what I'll do is, I will browse for layers and I'll be using the same result that you all have submitted already. So we have different category fields from where we can choose. I'll quickly choose state so that we know all the states from our participants have joined. I can then split by different fields. Say if we have had districts, we could have, subcategorized it as well. So I'll go with that for now, and then I can also add a scroll bar. I can also apply labels to my data. I can do a placement change. As I can see, this is overlapping. So maybe I'll just do it staggered so that it doesn't overlap anymore. Then I can also change the color so that it looks bright and beautiful. You can also add a title for your chart. Say states for now. I can also configure, different font styles and all. So I'll click done. I can see all the states from all our participants have joined today. And then I can see how many, maybe a pie chart to see how many people, what is the gender ratio of the joined participants. Okay. Then you can play around with colors, categories, and then you can reduce the opacity. I can also make it a donut so that it looks good. And I'll also give a title to this, say gender. Now let's add a map. Okay, so before we do that, we'll quickly create a map. Let's see how that is done. So if your map is readily available, you can add it here. Right now, you have already seen the map interface. You can go to add, and then you can go to my organization content, because so this was the result layer. So these are all the survey points that we have. and then I'll just quickly save it. So as that is done, I'll save this. I'll apply a header to my and let's quickly change the theme so that it looks good. And our map has been saved, and we'll quickly add that map over here. So in no time, now you have a dashboard with your map and the charting results, and all in minutes. You can play around, with where you can place it, how you can place it. You can also add filters over here for the, if you want to have filtering capability. So the possibilities are endless. And you can also go to story maps, and you can create story maps from these. You can add these elements like dashboards, your surveys. If you want, you can also add different elements of text, of images, of maps, and you can say, build story maps like this, where you have your dashboards, where you have, you can add your text. So that brings us to the end of the presentation for now, and I'll stop sharing my screen. I'll hand it over to Syed now.
All right, Suresh. I mean, thank you very much for such a detailed hands-on presentation. So it was a mixture of both. I did learn a lot myself. I wasn't much aware about. So I think, Suresh, the screen, I think you just stopped sharing your screen. Can you please share the screen? I think the slide is not visible. So I hope all had learned something new about ArcGIS Online. We did a couple of polls as well during the webinar, and I hope it was a fruitful and a learning session for you all. And as mentioned, and as we promised that by the end of the webinar there will be something more valuable towards for you all. So we discussed about ArcGIS Online, ArcGIS dashboards, ArcGIS story maps, and the field applications as well. So we'll quickly move ahead, and I'm pretty much excited to share about this promotion of our trainings, which we conduct as an Esri instructor-led trainings. So we're running our, so I'm really excited to announce this special promotion we're running for our esteemed webinar participants today. As part of our ongoing commitment to providing, valuable learning opportunities, we're offering an exclusive 20% discount right now on 4 of our upcoming courses, which are pretty much popular and are highly used across the industry. So let's dive into the details. First up, we have ArcGIS Online Essential Workflows. The training is scheduled for 1st of March, and this is a comprehensive training which will cover all of the fundamental workflows which you just went through, and Suresh took us through. We just saw a very small glimpse of what you can do in ArcGIS Online, but this course, 1 day course, will be having a complete set of workflows on what you can do and what how you can expand your ArcGIS capabilities. Next, we have working with ArcGIS dashboards. The course is set to start from 18th of March. And in this course, you'll be learning how to create dynamic and interactive dashboards, as Saurish just did, to visualize your spatial data in different meaningful ways and empowering you to make informed decisions on an organizational level. So creating dashboards and how important dashboards are, I'm sure all of you pretty much are aware about it. And moving on, we have creating stories using ArcGIS, as Sorish just showed at the end. We have this course scheduled for 20 to 21st of March. This course will explore all of the arts of storytelling through maps, enabling you to craft compelling narratives and communicate your insights effectively using ArcGIS Story Map. It's a two-day course, and it's set to start from 20th of March. And last but not the least, we have field data collection and management using ArcGIS course. Which is scheduled from April 26 to 27. This course is designed to enhance your proficiency in collecting, managing, and analyzing field data using ArcGIS tools and techniques, ensuring efficiency as well as accuracy in your data collection processes. As you just could see something about ArcGIS Survey 123 app, but within this course, there are many more applications which you can use and implement while collecting data on the field. ArcGIS Collector, ArcGIS Survey 123 is there, ArcGIS Workforce. So all of those applications, you're going to have, learn something about it during this training. And so if you are from an organization looking to switch from paper-based surveys to digital surveys, or you just want to enhance your current digital survey work, I think this is a course which is for you. So now let's talk about how you can take advantage of this exclusive offer. I think by now you should be able to see a web link in the chat box. You simply have to fill in your details and the courses which you are interested in to go through. Our team will reach out to you at the earliest and schedule this training for save your spot. So whether you're looking to enhance your skills in ArcGIS Online, dashboards, field data management, or even storytelling, I mean, there's something for each and every one of you here. But remember, this offer is valid only for a limited time. So don't miss out on this opportunity to elevate your GIS skills at a discounted rate which we are giving. So hence, I think I would suggest you all to fill out the form at the earliest to save your spot in these upcoming courses. The courses will come with a proper hands-on training, and instructor will be all of the time there with you. You'll be receiving a certificate of course completion, and you'll also be receiving the training material for your future references. I mean, it's a combination of all, and you'll also be receiving some free trial licenses at the end of the training. So I think Rajiv, I think you have you put the link? Yeah, I think you have. So you can all go through the link, quickly fill out your forms. We do run our batches with a limited class strength so that each participant gets an ample amount of time to understand the concepts and can clarify as many queries as possible. So we'll go ahead with a first come first serve basis on, as soon as we receive 10 to 15 part registrations for each of the course, we'll go and book the class for them. And then if there is anybody left, we'll go out and schedule the trainings in the next batch. Thank you so much to all of you for staying with us this long and taking time out of a busy schedule. I mean, it's really a lot. It's a big commitment you show towards any webinar, be it of Esri or any other. And I look forward to see all of you in our upcoming these courses. So I think over to you, Rajiv, for closing remarks.
Thanks, Sayed. I'd like to thank all the speakers and also the attendees for making this webinar a success. Like we mentioned in the email that we had shared initially, that there's a 21-day free trial for all the people who attend the webinar. Um, the link for the 21-day free trial has been shared in chat. You can register through by filling this form, and you would receive the next step. The next process is after you fill the form. In the poll, we understood that most of the people are right now not using RGS online, and this is a great opportunity to register for the same and understand the capability of the product. Um, Once again, thank you all. Thank you to the speakers.